8 Premier League games, and Bruno Fernandes at the death with the clutch header. He wins it for Ollie and the boys. We are live. We are here. We are absolutely off our nuts. I cannot believe it. Woo! How did Manchester United walk away with the 3 points? Outplayed for large parts. Brilliant goal from Rashford to get themselves back in the lead. And AWB caught out of the back post all game. And then there's a corner. There's a ridiculous handball by Mupay, whatever his name is. It's rightfully given. Let's get this straight right now. Rightfully given. And then man like Bruno, 2-goal contribution today. That's 3 in his opening 3 games of the season. 100% record. Bang, top corner. Clutch, bruv. Clutch moment. Top class superstar. Man United get the 3 points. And I don't care. I am shameless in this. I am celebrating because I love my football club. A lot of people are saying cheats. A lot of people are saying daylight robbery. A lot of people are crying. Absolutely not. Commenting from Baz says, feels like a loss, Terry. I'm sorry, mate. Doesn't feel like a loss to me. We won in the most grandstand, dramatic style. We'll unpick the game because there was problems today. There were problems today for Manchester United. Let us not get that twisted. But wow, what a performance. Our rivals are crying. I'm actually seeing people saying cheaters. Imagine saying we're cheaters. They handballed it. Absolutely amazing. We've got Indiana that's going to join us now. Indiana, what do you make of that performance?
I put CBeebies on for the kids. I was done. I thought the game was done.
I ended the live stream when the equalizer went in. And then that happened.
It wasn't until I seen the group chat pop up and everyone popping off about it's a penalty. But I will say it's papering over the cracks today. There was a lot of problems with the way we played. Individuals not moving the ball quick enough. I always say if you've got to think about the pass, it's not on. That pass is not on. The moment you've got to think about it. Wan-Bissaka was shut down. I think he's once he's got the ball and you close down the passing lanes, he's done. He's just got to hoof the ball.
I do get that, and there's definitely some problems there. Huge problems in terms of in terms of those elements of Manchester United today. I don't think that can be denied in the way we play. But how shocked were you that we walked away with the 3 points? I mean, to do it that way, do you not congratulate the team for staying resolute? Bruno for the pressure that was on Bruno when he had that opportunity is immense.
Of course, yeah. It's 3 points. Is 3 points. We won a game. We won the game. They didn't take their chances, and they could have. Let's be honest, they weren't very clinical. We did let them in a lot. You've got to commend the players. They kept going. We won the game.
I'll be honest, you don't seem very happy that we just won, bro.
I'm happy with the 3 points. Of course I'm happy with the 3 points. I was buzzing when the penalty went in. Of course I was. I've just had a little bit of time to digest what's going on and I look at the game as a whole, not just the 3 points. Like I've got to do that.
Zane here says, Terry, did you use my super chats to bribe the refs? Zane also said, Terry, you beat a pub team, sit down. Bruv, you couldn't beat this team. You got beat by this team. We come up. Listen, I am not happy with the overall performance today, and we'll go through that. We're going to add Lincoln to the stream here. Lincoln, we know the performance wasn't brilliant for large parts, but what we did see today, Marcus Rashford scored one of the best goals he's ever scored in a Manchester United shirt. And then Bruno had the balls to put the ball away the way he did. Give me your reaction, bro. Because you seem, I don't know if you're happy or sad right now. What are you saying, Lincoln? No swearing.
First of all, Bruno clutched Fernandes. Did you see that penalty? Also, he's also a record breaker. The first the first player in Premier League history of my knowledge to score a goal after the full-time whistle. I'm not sure that's happened before, but we'll take that. Also, it's the first. Let me just digest the game a little bit. We did not play well. Brighton outplayed us, but a lot of teams are going to be outplayed by Brighton at the Amex. They're going to finish top half. What I'll say is, Martial didn't have a good game. Pogba didn't have a good game. Wan-Bissaka was dreadful. I'm not sure. Also, Danny, devil in the details. I think we need to have that AWB discussion, like in the match reaction, because he just looked dreadful today.
No, I get where you're coming from in terms of those points. By the way, thank you, Top Dog, for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace. It means a great deal to us.
Just noticed I didn't have my headphones plugged in.
That you're doing that. There we go. Let's jump into a few more. I don't know where the rest of the crew are. Where are the rest of the crew for this?
They're probably catching their breath. I'm still catching my breath.
Where the hell is it? Get yourselves here now, people. I'm frustrated. You're here when we lose. You're not here when we win. Madness. A lot of people saying Fernandes. Listen, bro, I ain't right about that. We've got Ches now.
I'll take the screen.
Ches, what you saying, bro?
I'm good. I watched the game. It was mad. It was a crazy game. I think that. I think you need to realize that Man United fans aren't happy with that performance. I think you're one of the only ones that are excited by there was a lot of problems in that game. Even as a rival, I'm leaving you Solskjaer. There's a lot of things you're concerned about. But I know you'll speak about it later. But I don't think you guys should. That was Chelsea. Against Brighton, we 1-3-1. We wasn't that bad. Whereas I think you guys, they were quite bad, but you guys got life in the end. But a win's a win, but still.
Listen,
Indiana is correct.
This is the difference. Yeah. This is the difference. This is post-match reaction. Anyone right now that's crying and upset and kicking off and angry, they are not a Manchester United fan.
They're already starting before the goal.
I saw on Twitter and
story right now to win a football match in that way. It is absolutely impossible. Right. Do we have to digest? Do we have to look back? And the biggest mistake, the biggest two issues today for me were AWB not coping with March, not covering him in the wide areas. The second biggest area was Martial and Pogba and their ball retention during counter-attacks. Everyone in the first half was bad at it. In the second half, those two were utterly atrocious. The amount of times we had the space and time to put this game to bed, Bruno or Rashford or Greenwood played the right pass into Martial, and he made mistake after mistake after a mistake. Those areas need to be addressed. But what I will also look at in this is that we kept on fighting until the end. You had Rashford score one of the best goals of his career, and Bruno comes up trumps again. And today, shut all the haters up when he doesn't know how to pass the ball. Maguire today, absolutely.
Distribution has improved a lot.
Shaw today, absolutely brilliant. Player today, absolutely brilliant. Do I want more from Manchester United? Every single day of the week. But I'm not going to sit here when my team has just won a game in the most dramatic fashion that I've ever seen in my life in the Premier League, or one of the most, and not be excited about it. Only someone who hates their football club would do that. And that's what I'll stand by. We're going to throw a few more people in. Lincoln, thank you very much for coming on. Indiana as well. Appreciate that, boys. We're going to throw a few more people into the stream now. We'll chat to you guys a little later because the back room is now filling up. We've got Adam Charles in the house. We've got Igal and we've got Elite. Boys, I mean, Adam, we ended the live stream and then that happened.
Listen, that is a mad thing. I can't believe.
Oh, listen, my game.
I've got to go because I'm out shooting right now in London, but you love to see it, Bob. You love to see it. Listen, we didn't play well at all. From what I saw, we played terribly, innit? But you know what? Us Man United fans, we can sort that in-house. For now, we just keep going forward. Manchester United, Fernandes, let's go, baby. We love to see it. Peace out, everybody.
Mate, listen, and that's the reaction of a true Man United fan that loves their club. You digest it later. Let's talk about the drama of that. Adam, I want to come to you first. We were live on the air. I always end the streams pretty much a minute or two before the game finishes every week. It isn't just a United thing to get ready for this show. I was done. I switched off, and I'm just angry. Rashford had the opportunity to shoot, and he passed. It went out for a corner, and I didn't think anything of it. The ball got cleared off the line. I'm like, I'm done. I went to shut down this everything to set this up. And then United fan, I saw the players doing this. Ref, I had to turn Skype, everything off. I turned the sound down. I stood in the corner over there and didn't look. I didn't look. And then I turned around and the game was over and I saw her celebrate and I was that nervous. Can you believe what you just witnessed live, Adam?
I'm gobbed. You know what? Neil Maupay as well. That stupid man. Because he had the cheek to insult Arsenal. He said that we shouldn't be big for our boots or whatever that idiot said. He has blood on his hands and he needs to apologize to every single member of staff that is at Brighton Football Club because he ruined it today. Why are you putting your hand up in that position? Why are you doing that?
He literally gave the ref a reason to give a pen. It wasn't even close. He jumped up like this. He jumped up like that. He's a professional footballer.
Even before VAR, I don't even think he gets away with that. So I don't know what he's thinking at that moment in time. But I'll give credit to Manchester United.
No, VAR wouldn't have got. If there was no VAR, that would have been the end of the game.
Yeah,
I swear, because you blew the whistle, innit? I think it's the first time that he scored after the whistle.
Yeah, but that's that. Yeah. You know what? This is what I got annoyed last week at United's handball because I don't think anybody believed it was handball. Red United here with super chats want to honour this because it's quite a bit of money. He says you guys are completely wrong about AWB. Did you notice that he's been instructed to help Lindelof out a lot today? No one trusts Lindelof. AWB won almost all his one-on-ones except that, yeah, he was, but then it's a managerial issue because March consistently had space at that back post, and that's how we ended up equalising. That needed to be addressed, and it wasn't. But on the handball thing, this is where VAR is saving football because I don't agree with the new protocol that led to the handball that United conceded last week, that led to the handball that Tottenham conceded as well, where it just isn't one. So the ruling is wrong. However, VAR saves football because in old money, right now, Man United fans, although we didn't deserve to win, would be sitting there and it would be the referee missed something and it should have been a penalty to us, as an example. This is where I love VAR because it doesn't just give you drama, which makes football more exciting. What it also does, it generally gives you the correct outcome. And we all know that performance and outcomes are two different things. Like, we all know that. We've all had our teams play badly and you win a game and you celebrate. Igal, what did you make of the drama at the end and the overall performance today by Man United and Brighton?
Before anything else, can I mention the real Manchester United man of the match tonight is that post? That post saved you guys 5 times. That post saved you guys 5 times.
No, stop. You've got to stop. You do realize that hitting the post, it means your shot's off target.
Okay. Yes. At the same time, that also means David De Gea has been. It's past David De Gea, and he didn't touch it majority of those times.
It can't be those times. Stop. We've got an educational football here. It can't be past De Gea if it ain't on target.
Majority of those times, it got past him. It was just.
It was on. Whatever.
Come on, man, Terry. Come on.
Target. It can't. It beats the goal. It goes in. Hitting the post is not on target. He missed the target.
But the thing is, though, is like it beat the goalkeeper. So the guy was right. Like, it could have gone in. It
beat
wasn't like it
was 5 times.
What do you mean it could have gone in?
It could have
gone in. Guys, answer me this.
It went on the line.
If a shot's not on target, can it go in?
Yes, it can. If it hits the inside of the post.
No. If it's not on target, does it go in?
Yes, it can hit the post and go in.
Technically, no. But you know that if it hits the inside of the post, it can still go in.
But then it didn't because it was off target. It doesn't count. Anyway,
there's on-target shots, Terry, that can get deflected in, like the own goal today.
Right.
That was
what about Man United's 2 offside goals that were disallowed? That were offside by millimeters. What about them?
There was. Let's just say on both sides, there was a lot of luck. There was a lot of luck that went in your favor, and today you guys should be happy. You guys won the game. At the end of the day, it's 3 points. At the end of the season, you're not going to care how you won this game. This game won't mean anything to you. Those 3 points are going to mean something.
What I won't accept from anybody, though, is that it's post. The post thing's nonsense. If you hit the post, you're not on target. If you don't hit the shot on target, you don't deserve to score.
But just at least acknowledge it. When you say David De Gea had a good game.
Why am I acknowledging shots that weren't on target?
You said David De Gea had a good game. He did not have a good game. He got lucky that it didn't hit the inside of the post.
You can't save shots that are not on target.
It was on target. It hit the inside of the post and it came back.
That's not on target. That's not on
target.
Fifth shot. Are you serious?
Listen. There's bigger fish to fry here. There's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, we're paper.
You don't need to look at your squad and Ollie. On all this, off post, on target, this.
If you hit the post, it is not recognised by any footballing body as a shot on target. If you don't shoot the ball on target, you can't score unless it deflects. And that didn't happen today. De Gea wasn't beaten by any shot that ain't on target. It's a fact. Equally, if you save, I'll give you an example. If you save a shot that's not on target, it doesn't count as a save statistic. If the ball's down wide and you save it, it doesn't count. Only saves if your saving of the ball stops it from going in. Anyway, Aaron's with us. What you saying, bro? Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. What drama, mate? What drama?
What a drama. Yeah, drama till the last minute. Even like, I think it's the first awarded a penalty after the actual final whistle. Like, I've never seen that before. Drama. But listen, I'm happy we've got the 3 points. Obviously, I am. It would be stupid to say I'm not happy. But I'm worried because I'm looking at the next fixtures that we have. Tottenham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, Everton. Terry, I'm not confident. Terry.
I get that.
I'm not confident, especially if I know that we have quality players in our squad, but we just don't seem to produce or to get that quality out of them. Certain things during the game really annoyed me today. Obviously, with the Pogba penalty, we've got away with it because it wasn't a penalty. But why is he borderline? Why is he a borderline centre back? Why is he at the back with our centre backs? Why is he always coming deep to receive the ball? Why is he not playing more up front? Because in my opinion today, Bruno had a poor game, and if we would have had Pogba in that position, he had a poor game. I think he had a poor game.
He was, mate. First half, on that point, first half, 100%, everyone was poor. Paul Pogba was dog today. So was Martial. Them two let United down today, especially with them counter-attacks in the second half. Pogba's passing, his ball retention, his decision-making was awful from start to finish, barring a few good bits here and there. The penalty, it wasn't a penalty. But as a central midfielder, you have to be doing what Pogba was doing in those areas. That's part of your job, in my opinion. But today, Bruno Fernandes, the amount of cutting-edge passes that put us into opportunities. I mean, the pass that set up Rashford's beautiful goal was amazing. 3 times after that, he played passes into Martial, who's either got one man to beat or simple passes left or right to put us in for counter-attack goals. And the man did a Wilfried Zaha and tackled himself. I just think those two today, we would have scored another goal if Pogba and Martial were on point today. Fair play. First half, everyone was awful. Decision-making, passing. Second half, Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno stepped up. But unfortunately, I hear a dog.
I hear the thing that you're saying about the whole post and crossbar situation. That's fine, isn't it? And I agree with you. If it's that the post or the crossbar, it's not a chance in it. But what I'm saying is this: even after we scored the second goal, I don't think any United fan can tell me that they were comfortable that we were going to win this game, because as soon as we scored that second goal, they were on us. How many chances did they create? How many opportunities did they create? Just give me a second.
Luke Shaw, man.
No, I totally agree with what Aaron's saying there, because I was live. I can't deny that I wasn't feeling that. We were all saying the same thing. Where we were let down today in that moment is they were on us, but that's what I wanted, because it was like, right, now we counter, and we countered 4 or 5 times. Everyone go back and watch the game back, and we had positions where it was 3 versus 2, and the one player each time who messed up was Anthony Martial. Now I'm not going to single him out and say he's the reason they equalized, but it was a big part. In the first half, when we had the ball at the edge of the box with Rashford, and he had a simple pass out to the left with the overlapping run by Shaw, I crucified Rashford because he made the decision to go on the inside. And that was an opportunity to open him up and maybe get a goal up.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
It's cool. Martial did that so many times. And you're right, we were an edge after that. But that's where you need your attacking players when you get a chance to counter. For me, I was happy they were coming at us because we had all the space to go into. But we didn't do well enough on the counter-attack. And I felt we let Ollie down in that circumstance because it was individual player mistake every single time.
But then, you know what, yeah? Against Brighton, I feel like you had a very good game, by the way. They've got a brilliant team. You've got
Brighton are in good form.
And like I predicted. Sorry?
Brighton are in good form. They've been playing good.
They are. And like I predicted, because I've done various shows where I've spoken to people and I've said, the one guy that's going to cause us problems is Lamptey. And boy, did he create us problems today. He caused us a hell of problems. Do you know what I mean? And especially in the first half an hour, it just looked like they wanted it more. I remember there was a phase where that midfielder, Alzate, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Alzate, Matic had the ball. Alzate literally came and pushed Matic in the back. Yes, it was a foul, but it just shows that the guy wants it more. Like, we were very slow on the ball, I felt. We were the passes weren't really good. It just looked like they were more hungry. And against Brighton, these sort of games, you're going to get away with it. That's fine. You got the 3 points. I'm happy. But you're not getting away with it against the City even Arsenal, bro. I spoke about it because I was on the live stream with one of my guys, and I said the idea that Aubameyang is going to be up against Luke Shaw, bro, like it's frightening.
Why
It's
Luke
frightening.
Shaw? Why Luke Shaw? No, why Luke Shaw?
Today.
No, why Luke Shaw?
Wan-Bissaka, sorry, Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, that's the problem. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, this is a trend. It's got nothing to do with him having to protect Lindelof because you need to make independent decisions based on the attack that you're facing. Even when Bailly came on and we got 3 centre-backs, he was taking up the exact same position, getting caught at the back post. All of their chances, it was the same chance over and over and over again.
Until they scored, yeah.
Exactly. So that's got nothing to do with him protecting Lindelof for instructions. That's him as a fullback not having the positional intelligence to cover those balls. And that's going to keep on happening. That's nothing new. That is nothing new. It's just rearing its head right now. On Paul Pogba.
This is why I'm worried. And I spoke to one of my other guys who supports Newcastle, and he said literally, I think Newcastle are rubbing their hands and licking their lips, and I'm saying
he can rub his hands all he wants.
All you have to do, if Steve Bruce is very smart, all he has to do is play 2 up front, place Andy Carroll and Callum Wilson, let Wilson take out the running and all of that, and just stick Andy Carroll on Lindelof and just bully him the whole game. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, Lindelof will be a problem moving forward. We know that. But on Paul, we have to talk about Paul Pogba.
Thank you.
You know, at this point, I'll be the first to say I'm his biggest fan, but today, awful. I have to say,
he's inconsistent.
And if he doesn't fix up soon, he's going to lose his starting position.
No. What do you mean soon? We're on season 4, episode 9 of Unlocking Paul. That's what we are like. How many more excuses do we need to give this guy?
No, Adam's right. Adam's right. Aaron, one thing I was saying during the stream.
It's now or never.
One thing I was saying during the stream, Aaron, was that basically Ollie's made Paul Pogba's role easier for him now. He no longer has to be the goal scorer, the ball winner. All he has to focus on now is playmaking from deep. Passing is his best attribute. He's got skill as well. But his passing in the last 2 matches has been terrible. For that goal during the stream, as soon as he played that pass, before he even came back from to concede a penalty that wasn't a penalty, I was saying, why is he playing a low percentage pass when he can just keep the ball and get us high up the pitch?
But do you think he just lacks match fitness?
Listen, Paul Pogba's a naturally fit guy. It's a concentration problem. It's got nothing to do with match fitness. He's a fit guy. He's a superior athlete. He's not a very good athlete. He's a superior athlete. It's got nothing to do with it. That's on him. We can't defend Paul Pogba no longer. He has to perform. If I see I always say this. If I see a player doing the basics right, at that point I can back you against the manager. And at this point, he ain't even doing the basics right.
What I think is going on with this Pogba, again, listen, I like I've said, right now, if you're a Man United fan, you're not buzzing. Like, you're not sitting there just wanting to go out and get smashed out your face drunk. You're a fake fan, bruv. You can't win games and not be happy. I stand out with my chest. If you're not happy right now, there's something wrong with you, right? But you can sit back and digest these things. We had lots of issues on the field today. AWB's got to shape up. Pogba's got to shape up. Those two, Lindelof is never going to shape up. He's never going to be good enough to, in my opinion. But those two today were awful. And I think what triggers people, which is why Bruno ends up getting more sick than anybody else. People are triggered by the fact that I would say Bruno has had more match-winning displays in 6 months than Pogba's had in 5 years at the club. Like what we saw from Bruno in the second. I was saying about Bruno. You were live with me. You know what I was saying. I ripped into Bruno that first half. Bad decision-making, gave the penalty away. Rashford, poor decision-making. Second half, those guys were the difference for us. And if other players around them had the same edge in the second half, we wouldn't have been worrying about an equaliser in the 89th minute or whatever it was into injury time.
Sorry, can I put some perspective though?
Sorry, mate?
Can I put some perspective? The only thing I would say is that I look at everything as a whole. And if you look at Man United the past few games, even before the season started, last season, you guys, this is the kind of play you were playing. So it's kind of consistent inconsistencies. You feel me? I think that's why Man United fans are a bit he's happy, but he's not too overly joyed. Because long term, is this kind of sustainable? The answer is no. And if you stay like this, it would be hard for you to get top 4. You could actually see yourself getting out. Yeah,
but I also think we're overreacting on that. I'm not happy with today and things have got to improve. But we're acting like we haven't seen Man United play better than this on consistent bases before. We went from January to the end of last season, barring a handful of games where we looked solid, where we were strong at the back because we barely conceded goals. We've started off a little bit sluggishly to this season. There is no doubt about it. Brighton looked a lot better than we did. But this I think there's such an overreaction. I want Newcastle rubbing their hands together. That's eventually going to play into it's going to play into our hands at some point. We're going to click. We're going to get sharper. I think there's this. It's praying from rivals that this is the end of Ollie, and everyone that doesn't like Ollie, they're seeing this as I think as their opportunity to go right. I can pull on the Ollie out, Fred. It'll get traction. Might get into Woodward's head. Get what we want. And for me, this is early.
But I'm just thinking. Are you? And I want to ask Danny this as well. Like, I understand what you're saying, Terry, but the way we played in certain minutes of the games and stuff, and are you not worried that against other teams that are stronger than us, like these mistakes and these errors and what we do in the game sometimes where we're slow in the positional sense of certain defenders, it's going to cost us goals and games. Like, I don't know if you get what
this is my thing, Aaron. I get your point, but I have a large sample.
Like, we've got Chelsea, Arsenal, and Everton. Like,
yeah, I know, but I have a large sample size that says for some reason these players under Ollie, their passing, their ability to beat the press, the speed that they play at is better in the big matches for some reason.
But you can't just turn up in the big matches.
No, we can't. You're right. You're right.
That.
But that's not an Ollie issue for me. That's a player problem. You can turn up for the big games. You can beat a press in a big match, but against Brighton, you struggle to beat the press. We pointed it out. We pointed it out this game where we were trapped on the right-hand side. Paul Pogba, Lindelof triangle, played out from the back. Several minutes later, in the same position, Paul Pogba plays a lazy pass outside of his foot to Lindelof. We get caught out. Brighton sustained pressure. It's these little things. I'm looking at things and I'm like, okay, this mistake, what caused this mistake? Is it style of football? Is it bad coaching? Is it lack of motivation from the manager? Or is a player not doing the basic thing right? And far too often, these players don't do the basic things right for me.
So what are we going to do? Every time we play well and win games against big teams, we're going to praise the manager. But then
no.
When we don't win against the lower teams, we're going to say it's the players. Like, we can't keep.
No. What, I'm saying it's the players in both. So you want to step up as a player. All right, we got Arsenal. Let's step up. But then at home, against, I don't know, West Ham, you're moving the ball slowly. That's a play. It's
Aaron,
a player problem on both sides.
What you just said there is exactly what people do that don't like Ollie. When we beat the big teams, it's because individual moments of brilliance. When we don't play well like today, it's not about Pogba not being brilliant. It's about there being no system. The hypocrisy is there. And for me, it's both together at the same time. I look at it this today. Yeah. AWB was wrong for keep getting caught out of his position. Some Red United put a super chat saying that he thinks Ollie instructed AWB to be closer to Lindelof to protect him. I don't really care which those two things is true. What then the Ollie needs to make sure is we address the fact that March was kept on being free. That's a managerial and player, because you guys together have got to look at that and go, hello, we've got a problem. The whole world can see it. Why can't you? You've got people. United have a coach watching it from up above. You can see this. That should be addressed. But equally, the biggest problem, in my opinion, was where we made sloppy, lazy passes or bad decisions in attacking phases that let Brighton off the hook. The Rashford example, first half, we use Rashford because everyone likes to get on his back. Holding the ball up at the edge of the box, Luke Shaw makes a brilliant overlapping run.
And he doesn't give it to him.
Yeah. Doesn't give it to him. And why that run was no defender went with Luke Shaw, which also tells you they knew Rashford was going to stay on the inside. He was free. Martial did that in the second half. Twice Martial's running through, tackles. There's all these little decision-making.
Oh, that lazy pass, he did it to Shaw in the second half as well. Exact same pass, yeah.
So let me just
game would have finished 2-2. You would have ripped into them, and just because of VAR decision, you are happy. So I'll address that because you are addressing me. I'm always happy when Man United win. I'm even happier when we win last at a game, right? I can't not be. I love my club. I know we've still got some problems. What I am saying is this, though. I think it's too early to start being worried about playing all these other teams now after two average to poor, poor to very poor performances in the opening couple of games, because I'm happy we're not peaking too early. I'd be more worried if we were looking amazing right now, because I don't know if we can sustain that. Everyone's going to have moments like we've had in the last few games. And if we've had player problems, we also addressed the fact we need more individuals at the club. I just think everybody's going a little bit too far with Ollie out. Pogba was bad today. I'm gonna slag him off.
What do you mean by we're going too far with Ollie out? Surely you can see. Surely. I'm not even going to lie to you. I've been screaming Graham Potter's name since bloody Osterson. And if I'm being honest, Graham Potter could do a job at United. And I reckon he could do a job at Ollie.
Listen, let me just address this now. The reason I'm not about the Ollie out thing as well is I've sat here since 2013, when I used to work regularly for the Full-Time Devils, now Stretford Paddock, my own channel, UFF, and what I have heard every time United fans get a bit sad with the manager is 20 new managers' names come up of who could help us. By the way, only 3 or 4 of those managers from the Moyes era, for the LVG era, are even spoke about now as being top managers. They're all gone. They've disappeared into the abyss. I want a process to be followed through from start to finish, and then we move on. It's the only thing we haven't done since Fergie. We need to do it. What you're also not bringing into this is no manager in the Premier League, barring Pep and Klopp, has won more points than Ollie since he's been Manchester United manager. Absolute fact. Since January, since we brought Bruno into the club, only Liverpool have got more points and more goals than us in the league. And people are acting like Ollie can't get us onto a good run of form. I find it mad. We also sit there and keep saying 5 or 6 our first team are not good enough. Then cool. If they're not good enough, then Potter's not going to get the best out of them. What the likes of Graham Potter are doing is brilliant. But they've got players that are 5, 6 out of 10 in ability, but are hungry and that want it and then fight hard and play hard and give absolutely all in their games. It's different when you move up to that next level. And I do think one of the United's biggest issues is want. Some of our players, I don't think, get up and want it in the smaller games. Now, how do you address that? You can everyone said befriend Paul Pogba and make him fall in love with you and you'll get consistent performances out of him. And it just doesn't happen. When he's brilliant. But he always drops in one every 2 or 3 games. He drops in a performance like this. And it's nearly always against the small sides where he should be dominating it. And maybe Pogba's mindset isn't right. Maybe we should play Fred in these games because Fred, when he came on, was wicked, by the way. I thought Fred came on and was amazing. But look, we're all going to have different opinions on that. What we do know for a fact is...
I was thinking, you guys were saying before the first game that you guys were not prepared and you didn't come into the season prepared. Are you saying because of the signings or are you saying just because of the fact that they didn't get much training and they didn't get to play preseason games? Because if you say preseason games, you look at Man City and it's the same situation as them. But when you say signings, that kind of makes sense because even though Luke Shaw had a decent game, you still need a left back because that was the area where they're attacking a lot, even though Luke Shaw had a good, decent game. And then, yeah.
So on your point, I think we get it. I'm not trying to cut you short. I think the United fans on here, Aaron and Danny agree with me. It's a combination of all those things. No pre-season at all. Like people isolating, didn't even get to train the team. Still haven't got the signings in that we want. And we're building up a steam. City looked really good for about 40 minutes the other night. Wolves should have at least equalised or even beaten them with that sort of that 50 minutes to 80-minute period where they absolutely killed them and didn't put the ball away. They looked exhausted. They got a goal in the end. Sometimes it's about what the other team do as well. I don't know what Aaron thinks about that. Do you feel like there's a lack of being unprepared for this season? And if so, where?
On this preseason thing, I'm going to put this down to the club and because I think it's unacceptable because Luke Shaw gave an interview not too long ago before the season started and they asked him what the preseason training was like and and he was like, yeah, when first day of preseason we turned up and there was 4 of us. That's unacceptable. 4 of the first team squad and the rest of the under 18s and under 23s. That's unacceptable for a club like Manchester United. And you're allowing people to, fair enough, they want to go on holiday and whatnot, but the situation with the whole, the pandemic, about that. So why allow people to go Dubai and Brazil and
They weren't allowed. They weren't allowed.
No, Wan-Bissaka was allowed, got permission to go to Dubai.
Yeah, but that's because he was given extended leave. So him being in isolation, he wouldn't have been back.
But then again, the situation with the pandemic in the world. Why would you let one of your players go on holiday knowing that when he comes back, he has to quarantine for 2 weeks?
No, that's the point. They said those 2 weeks he was quarantining, he wasn't going to. They were giving him that as a break anyway. So even if if he'd have gone to Butlins in Bognor Regis, he still wouldn't have been back at training. in those weeks. That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. So,
I just think it's very bad management from.
No, it's a fair question to ask, but again, is there a reason why that decision was made based upon the players that we have? They need a break. These guys, if they don't get a break, it might be even worse. And from what we've seen, can you trust these guys to keep ticking over if they didn't get a break? Do you think they'd be performing better if they didn't get a break?
I think this is where we need to all, and I want to do it. There's part of me that wants to scream and shout. I'm not even going to lie, but there's also this element of me that thinks it's a long season, lots of games. No one really knows whose game plan is going to work. If Man United peak a little bit later than everybody else and sustain that and have a very good season, and some of the early front runners die a death of exhaustion, then we'll look back and be like, you know what, Ollie and Man United managed it just right. It might not go that way. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, it might not. But that's why I don't want to judge it too much now. We're literally 2 games in, and people are writing an obituary.
But we were better today. Like, don't get me wrong. Brighton put it on us, and I expected Brighton to put it on us because I rate them as a team. They will be in the top 10 this season. I don't know why people are acting like Brighton away should be an easy game for United.
No, I said that as well. They'll be top 10.
Yeah, no, I know. But for me, we improved slightly. We've got another game against Brighton on Wednesday. We need to improve again in preparation for the Tottenham game. I didn't expect Manchester United to start the season on fire. And it seems for me, people just looking for an excuse to say Ollie out, Ollie out, Ollie out. Like, it was always going to be a difficult start to the season.
We have a little bit of light heart.
All I'm saying is, looking from, and I respect your opinion, Danny. You know that. I respect all of your opinions. But looking at the first 2 games we just played, I honestly think this is going to be another up and down season, just like last one.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. That's the thing, though. But I'm prepared for that because I understand this is a rebuild. There's a line. I said Terry got paid in his glass yesterday. He has a line where he says, it's never plain sailing. There's always rough waters in the ocean. This is what it's going to be like. This is what it's going to be like.
I want a bit of light-hearted here for a minute.
And if the club don't fix up and get us some players in with the Champions League and that, it's going to be...
but my view on that, Aaron, is this though. That makes me support Ollie and the players more because that ain't their fault. And that's what I'm saying with fans. It's like, I can't hate the players. Even if I don't think they're good enough, I can't give them more hate because the club don't buy replacements for them. That makes me want to put my arm around them and nurture them more. Do you get what I mean? If you see a kid, he's trying to play football, but his parents can't afford to buy him a pair of football boots, and he's out there in plimsolls slipping over. I'm not going to hate on him for it. I'm going to put my arm around him and help him. On a bit of lightheartedness here, Ollie said in an interview, he says, first of all, we all need to be thankful that Jose Mourinho isn't here to measure the goalposts. Otherwise, we'd be in trouble today.
Swear he said that?
Yeah, like as a joke. I don't really. Yeah, that's amazing. I love you, Ollie. I love you. That's a funny thing to say.
Wow.
You know what's interesting today, right? And this is why Brighton didn't win today, though. This is what it comes down to, and this is pulling on the Gal's point earlier. Facts of the game: they had 18 shots to our 7. They created 14 chances to our 4. Funnily enough, though, looking at it, Bruno got 2 of those chances for us. He would have actually created 7 chances today if Martial and or Rashford that he passed the ball into actually got their shots off. So we did create the openings. But on those shots, this is why they didn't beat us, because they only had 5 on target and we had 3. So that's what matters. You could have imagine having 1,000 shots a game, but you only get 5 on target. Another team has 7 shots but gets 5 on target. The result is going to be like close. And that's why they weren't clinical today. Trossard got man of the match. He had, how many shots that man had today? He had 4 shots. He had 1 on target. All the posts. By the way, if you hit the post and it goes in, it counts as a shot on target.
Yeah, Rashford couldn't get man of the match, hitting the post 4 times in the game.
By the way, I want to speak Rashford for a minute. Rashford's goal. Like, it's a bit of positivity. That goal was amazing, right? Or we're not buzzing.
That was blessed.
My heart was in my mouth when he came back on his left foot. I was just like, why didn't he shoot? Like,
yeah, because he loses it there so much. I was like, no, no.
Ollie will be sacked before Christmas. All right, I bet he won't be. I love this one out, guys.
I think he studied the opponent. And he realized that Brighton always throws himself at the players.
Assuming this is the team that we go forward with, as it stands now, no more transfers because we can't trust Woodward and the Glazers. You don't know with these guys. Yeah. What is the target? What is the target for this team? What's the reasonable target?
In the league?
In the league, yeah. I already know how you feel about the Champions League. We don't need to go there. We know already. In the league, what's the target?
Right now, I would say top 6, man. I'm not even lying to you.
Top 6. What should it be? What should the target be?
Yikes.
The target should be top 4.
Okay, and if we achieve top 4, would you give credit to Ollie for doing that?
We are live again. Apologies, I'm not too sure. Sorry, go on.
Was that you? Oh, sorry, I didn't know what was going on there. Yeah, sorry. Ask your question.
I get a feeling you're saying top 6 because you don't have that you don't give Ollie your full trust.
I've got doubts, man, and I'm worried. That's what it is, man.
Oh, sorry. My son's got doubts as well. But all away. But like, there's certain things that Pogba does.
Yeah, So go. Sorry, I'm checking something else. Go and talk, guys. Sorry.
But no, listen. I'm still confident we'll get top 4. For me, that is the target because right now we haven't signed any more players. That's the level we're at right now. But for me, again, if it's top 4 with 66 points, I don't think that's going to be the case. We're going to have to finish top 4 on 78, low 80 something points. But I've seen nothing from Arsenal look good. But Chelsea, You know, 40. We don't know how those players are going to gel. Tottenham. Look at the reaction to Jose Mourinho losing that first game. They win the next one 5-0. Does that mean they're going to go on a run now and just steam it to the top 4? I don't think so. Look, it's Liverpool and City, and there's everybody else. And unfortunately, right now, as Man United fans, we have to accept we're part of the everybody else, and that's how it's going to be for the next season.
I agree. Yeah.
But listen, I gotta go. Terry, thanks for having me on, man.
Man like Neeks is here. Man like Flawless is here. And just for a little bit of lightheartedness, I just want to, in case anyone didn't see it, I'm now watching it back with quite a bit of cringe now. But the reaction to man like Rashford scoring, just thought I'd share it with you all. Just my moment of madness.
Wow!
What a goal, Rashford! Oh! 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 What? What are you saying about Rashford? What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying about my boy now? What are you saying now? What are you saying about Bruno's passing now? What? Shut up. Sit down. Keep your mouth closed. I was a bit happy. I was a little bit happy when that happened.
Very happy, Terry.
Energy.
Very
oh,
happy.
man.
My view is always this. Like, it is. I don't care. Someone super chat there. I respect all super chats. I'll tell you, you're gonna cringe tomorrow because you're like praising people. You're trying to play down how bad you're playing. I've said it before. I know how bad we're playing. I will back my club though, in the sense of I'm not gonna not be happy right now. Like I come from a lot of years of being a match going fan. You celebrate those moments because when you actually go to football games, you don't assess football like when you watch it on TV. It's such a different experience. I want to go to Neeks. So Neeks, give me your reaction, man. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be long because I have to head over to my my goddaughter's birthday in a second. So yeah, I'll be here for about 5 minutes.
Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's five today. But yeah, it's listen, we weren't good. We got lucky. As I said in my match review, we got lucky today. That's just a fact. We went to Brighton and they hit the woodwork 5 times. Now, yeah, all of them weren't clear-cut opportunities. A couple from outside the box. There was a header that kind of looped up onto the top of the bar. But there was a couple of chances, even the ones that didn't hit that hit the woodwork or back of the net on the left-hand side when crosses were coming in. You know, that one that went on the inside of the post and went across the goal. We were fortunate. And I think the biggest issue for us today, especially in the first half, because we were terrible in the first half, and I was hopeful in the second half because we started it well, but our pressing from the front just was poor. We were going in as individuals, and it was very easy for Brighton to move the ball from back to front. They didn't cut us open because it wasn't really incisive, but it was just very easy from back to front, and they got to the edge of the area and they crossed the ball or they take a shot. And I think we were just very passive in our play in the first half. But what strikes me, and it's happened a few times, for example, the Southampton game at the back end of last season, the West Ham game, similar. We're very, very passive. And then they take the lead, they get the first goal, and then we say, all right, let's go attack. And Shaw makes a bursting run, wins a free kick, good delivery from Bruno, and we get the equalizer. Second half, we start very well. I know there was a offside goal for Greenwood as well at one point. Rashford then had a goal disallowed offside. Then he gets the goal that his performance deserved because he played well. I'm happy for him because he's looking like getting better in terms of the directness of his play, trying to go past his man with the ball or without the ball. He cuts in, gets a very good goal for him. Good pass from Bruno as well. And then we go back into our shell. At that moment, you're thinking 55 minutes, we're on the front foot, we're pressing from the front, we're forcing Brighton to go long because we're pressing in 2s and 3s. And then we go back into our show and sitting back and trying to play on the counter, and our passing from Pogba, from the decision making sometimes from Bruno and Rashford, the poor control and sometimes the concentration from Marshall and Greenwood. It means that every time we try and break, the attack breaks down and we're under attack again. And then as soon as they get an equalizer, what do? We go forward again. We create an opportunity. We get a penalty from the corner. And I'm like, why does it take us going behind or being pegged back to then go and attack? We need to stay on the front foot and kill the game off when we're in the moments of domination.
No, I agree with that completely. I'm just responding to a few people calling me the Man United police on socials because I tweeted out saying that and I stand by this, what I tweeted out, and I stand by it massively. I just basically said that I think my tweet was, if you're a United fan and not buzzing right now, you're a fake fan, as you were. Because for me, doesn't mean you're happy with the performance. Anyone who isn't buzzing when that penalty went in, for me, is like off their head.
Well, listen, when that penalty went in, I was happy. Listen, when the penalty was, I was like, come on, and I was confident. You know what's funny? Obviously, I put in my title, I put Bruno Fernandes because obviously everyone wants to call him a penalty. Really, his penalty's not easy. Jorginho missed his penalty against Liverpool last week. If he scores that, maybe Chelsea gets something out of the game. Bruno in the last minute, 99th minute.
Exactly, bro. And that's the thing of it. And like I say, I will call other Man United fans out because Saeed quote tweeted and said, "Here we go, Man United police are about." Lots of people liking that because they want to people misinterpreting what I mean by it because they don't ask questions. And I quote tweeted his tweet and I said, "No one is happy with the performance," but I said only fake fans with no love for United would not be buzzing when Bruno scored. And I said then, I know you were buzzing, like, because I know he cares. If you care about Man United, you can't have walked away from that without celebrating when that went in. Then you calm down and you know that there are some problems with the display. We know there are problems with AWB, with Pogba, with Martial today. We know there are some issues that need to be addressed. We know we're not firing on all cylinders. But this weird notion that, I can't be happy my team won when we didn't play well. I'm just so glad these fans weren't vocal when even Fergie was manager. We scraped bare results when we were at our best with him. But these children and these narcissists don't get it. And do you know what makes me laugh about those comments I make? I said to one guy, he says, "Well, I'm not happy with the performance." I went, "Were you buzzing when the goal went in?" He went, "Yeah." I went, "Well, I'm not talking about you then, am I?" Like, it's only if you scored that winner and you were annoyed that we won, you're not a Man United fan. I don't care how confrontational that is. It's the truth. If you celebrated it and afterwards went, "But we've got to get better," that's cool. I'm not calling you out, you absolute dimwits. But there we go. Flawless, mate. Give me your views on the overall game, though, bro.
Before you freeze.
Yeah, but it was it was a roller coaster of emotions. I don't remember a game like that for a long time. Like when Manchester United appealed for the penalty, like I was still cursing about the equalizer. So it was just a roller coaster of emotions. So then to get the penalty and then to score it, obviously I'm ecstatic about it, and it's relief as well because I already know my mentions is going to be jumping, social media is going to be terrible. So to get it, so on the game, I've always you could replay what I've said in the past. When you have the 5 attacking players we do, if 2 of those 5 or more combined, we can always win matches. So it's like that's always a positive because that's one thing I think our fans forget. As bad as it is, we still have quality players. Yes, we need improvement, of course. Yes, we need investment, no lie, but we still have Pogba, Bruno, Donny, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. And look at Rashford's goal. That's a quality goal. That the pass from Bruno as well. That's a quality, finish. Like for people who his decision making is bad, etc., etc. If Messi scores that, we're all waxing lyrical about how good Messi is and how he's the GOAT, etc. So therefore, we give the plaudits to Rashford. I want to give a shout out to Luke Shaw as well, actually, because he won the free kick. He won the free kick as well, and he's someone I'm very critical of. But today he was better going forward, just because he was positive. That's what. So it's good to see him.
That's what we asked for. That's what we asked for.
We're not asking. Go on.
Exactly. If he's getting forward and then his crossing is bad, then we can analyze that. But we're saying you're not even getting forward. Do something, and he does it, and we get something from it.
This is what I'm saying. Like, be positive. This is what I'm saying. But obviously, like I've said in the past, we shouldn't be relying on moments of individual brilliance of things that or things of that nature to beat Brighton. This is Brighton. This is a team. If they stay up by 1 point, they'll be over the moon. Like United may be miles off the top, but Brighton are miles off us. Like Neeks, you said Brighton hit the woodwork 5 times. How do they look more dangerous than us? Like we had 3 shots on target, I think, which were the 3 goals. Someone, correct me if I'm wrong. So that's where the performance issue lies. Is in they have what? Mopey, Trossard, and Deesman and Connolly, and we have Martial, Greenwood, and Rashford, and they look more potent than us. I'm like, how do Brighton look more? But that's an issue I know we have. So I'm just like, I can't be. I just sound like a broken record if I just complain about that. So I'm like, all right, just get the win. Because I tweeted out before.
Relieved that we came away with the 3 points. Because we needed it.
Yes, we needed it. Like that's a morale boosting win. I'm hoping because Pogba looked off the pace again. I've seen him give the ball away a few times. Bruno was actually at fault for both goals, to be honest. It was the penalty and then the goal from over his side, and Wan-Bissaka was marking someone, so I can say he's 50-50. They need to organize that between them. But obviously, he's made the difference with the penalty.
You know what? It's not even the first time that that Wan-Bissaka's been caught out a few times with the cross to the back post. And they need to work on that in training, because I see it a lot when they're on the left-hand side and he obviously comes to cover, you know, the centre-back with the attackers behind the centre-back. So between him and the right winger, whoever it might be, the ball always seems to go over his head because it might be over here or whatever, and then it's a clear opportunity. And between him and the right winger, they need to work on that. I've seen that at the back end of last season and today.
And that type of thing shouldn't be happening. Bear in mind, we have 3 centre-backs. There's a reason there's 3 centre-backs on the pitch. So if they do have an overload because Brighton are attacking, it's no disrespect, but it's Brighton. We're not talking about the creme de la creme of attack. Like, sustain it. I understand why Ollie made the change to bring Bailly on, and Bailly made an important block. He rushed out to somebody and just flew into it. Just typical Bailly. And it's like, that's why we all love Bailly, because we know he'll put his body on the line, but that's also why he gets injured. So with the fact we've got 3 centre-backs, surely this should be worked on type of thing. But like I said, hopefully, because United have the individual players we do, if we can get any form of team system or anything like that, we'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll be able to get results.
I was tweeting at the same time as listening to you boys, and I think what you said there were mistakes from lots of different people today. And I think in the first half especially, I thought like Bruno and Pogba were just, for their level, were awful. There's no doubt about that. What I saw from Bruno, and some of those passes from Bruno in the second half, I mean, that man should have had 3 or 4 assists. We didn't even end up having shots through some of his passing. Like, I thought Martial today was dog breath, no doubt about it. Till Pogba,
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, they were just awful, and and that's it though for me. They're bad today. We move on to the next game, and we go on from there. But there were moments today, and this is what it comes down to: it's decision making, and it's confidence, and it's grabbing the, you know. Today, Brighton went out and they were like, we're going to really give United a game. We're really going to give them a go. We didn't do that as well as we should have done, Manchester United today. We looked within ourselves at these things. But it's like I say, at the end of the day, stand by what I said. I'm having these debates now, people online. This lady tweeted me, I don't know if she's watching, but she basically said, she said, people have mixed emotions. She said, I don't know why people think they have the right to call others fake fans. Unreal. I'm happy and screamed when we won, but I'm fuming about the performance. Not hard to understand. And I'm like, but that's my whole point. Like, it's one of them things. All I've said is you're not buzzing right now after a win, right? There's something wrong with you. However, that doesn't mean you have to be happy with your. This is this polarized nature we've become as people, where it's like, I'm either happy or I'm angry. Well, you can be both at the same time and be happy. I'm talking about the people, and I've seen a few tweet. We won the game, and they're actually angry that we come away with the 3 points, and we are. Like, I can tell you're angry. I was watching one person's reaction to it. I've seen one guy, and it was like that. Why are you unhappy? You won. Because that's mad.
You know, Terry, let me say before I go, I remember 2018 we were playing Newcastle, and there was rumors that if we lost the game to Newcastle, Jose would be sacked.
I remember this.
And there was I spoke to Man United fans face to face. I'm not going to call any names. I'm not going to do that. I know they're on social media and all that. And they told me that they want us to lose to Newcastle if it means Jose's being sacked. And I said, one, there's no guarantee Jose's going to be sacked. It's just we're hearing reports. Secondly, I want my team to win every game, regardless. I always want my team to win. And so, you know, today, I'm just like, I'm happy we won. First and foremost, every time we scored a goal, I punched the air. Then afterwards, we analyze. But I agree, there are people out there who, when that penalty was scored or the penalty was won, they were annoyed. They were angry because maybe for them, it meant Solskjaer gets a little bit more time. But for me, Man United's fortunes come first. And a win is what Man United needs before a player getting a goal or a manager relieving pressure on his shoulders. Man United need a win. Therefore, Man United must win, and I'm happy if we get that. And that's the way I look at it. That's for me personally. And
the thing is, that's right in terms of results dictate that. Whether you think Ollie's good enough or not, if he gets enough good results, United will be successful and United will win trophies. And we're all happy. If Ollie doesn't get good enough results, then eventually players will be moved on and he will be sacked. I want United to, I want United. Obviously, you both know, and anyone who's watching me on this, no, I'm not a fan of Ollie, but I want Manchester United to win. I want Ollie to prove me wrong. I want to come on the show and Terry and you and Danny, I'll be like, see, you got it wrong. Ollie's the man. I'm talking about lifting trebles. You know what I'm saying? Because go on, Terry.
I think that's absolutely right, and we all want these same things. It's just like I think Aaron made a really good point earlier that we can't blame the players when we don't turn up against the small teams and then praise the manager when we beat the big teams. I'm like, bro, but that's what you man do in reverse. You thank the players when we beat the big teams and blame the manager when we can't beat the small teams. I said, so if you notice how we're both half right. It's 50-50. And I think that's where people like me get angry that we put everything down and onto the managers. Some people put everything on the managers, some people put everything on the players. And it's a combination of two things. But I even see it today, bruv. Like Bruno and Pogba and Martial were rubbish. And it's like, I'm going to ignore slagging them off. I just can't wait. I almost feel this is what they're thinking in their heads. I can't wait for Rashford to make a mistake so I can put it all on him. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
and
what you're saying.
A lot of people coming back to me on my thing about not buzzing, right? And I'm sort of saying how, like, I'm buzzing with the result and the way we won it, but I'm unhappy with the performance. They're like, I get what you mean now. And that's because people have got to talk to each other and understand where they look. Saeed calling me out is fucking fun. Do you know what I mean? I like Saeed, good guy. But you got to have conversations about these things. What do you mean by that, Terry? Well, I mean, if you're not happy we won that game, you're off your head. And like Nick said, I've seen this so many times in the last year where I was watching another person's watch along. They were on another channel. Right, their watch along for a United game towards the end of last season. We scored a last minute winner, and their reaction again was this. Now they're an Ollie out merchant, and I'm thinking that you're not a Man United fan if you're unhappy with you win a game. It cannot be possible. It can't be.
Yeah, but you know what that is? That is what you actually call an agenda. People don't want to be wrong. I'm not fussed. I'm not on your platform and other platforms to be proven right. I'm just giving my opinion. And if I happen to be wrong on Ollie, like I've said, I say again, I want to be wrong so much on Ollie. I want him to win everything.
I was saying the same thing. I was saying the same thing the other day. I'm like, there's certain players who I might feel are not good enough.
Yes.
But I want those players. Like, nothing would please me more. Not because of the player, but that Luke Shaw turns up today, man the match, assists. And I'm like, I've been cussing you, but rightly so, because you've been poor. But I don't want you to play bad to prove me right, because inadvertently that affects Man United.
That's what I'm saying.
Prove me wrong. And if you can't prove me wrong, then we get someone to replace you, because it's best for Man United, not me. Not that I was right or wrong.
Exactly. And that's the thing for me, bruv. Like I've said it again. We can go over old ground on this. If I think Ollie's good enough and he isn't, and we go to Poch and we win a league, because I don't think it's the right time to switch, and I'm wrong, I'm happy we won a league. It's not about being right and wrong.
This is what I'm saying. Happy we won a league.
And that's what I care about the most. It's a bit, some things I'll always fight back on, like people saying today we were saved by posts. Yes, but they weren't on target. And the way I always look at it, I remember I hit the post once. This was put in my head by my coach. I hit the post twice in a game. And I come off and I think I had a good game today. I said, I hit the post twice. I was so close. And he went, well, you weren't on target. I said, well, I said 1 inch that way and it goes in. He went, yeah, but 1 inch the other way and it goes completely wide altogether. And I'm like, that's true. He says, if it's not in, it ain't in. It's not. You haven't done your job. And it's like today, like this is. I get why rivals say we were like they hit the post a good few times, and they were unlucky in those instances. But then you could argue, our offsides. Like Rashford was quite a way offside for Greenwood's goal, but that's because Martial delayed his pass by like a split second. If he releases that ball half a second earlier, he's onside. That's 1-0 Man United. If Greenwood releases the ball half a second earlier, or Rashford slows his run down for what would have been his opening goal, we'd have gone 2-1 up then, as an example. These are fine margins of football.
It is, and I think that's the point. It's like Brighton can only blame themselves. If you go to a Brighton fan TV right now, they're screwing that they missed 5 chances. That's down to them. Man United can't affect that. If we had a solid defensive performance, for example, and they were pressing, but we were blocking them out, we might say credit to Bailly, credit to Maguire. We were fortunate that they were so profligate. Now, if they were shit hitting on target and De Gea saved it, I'm like, well, De Gea's doing his job. That's your problem. However, of course, Man United have our standards. And regardless of whether Brighton miss or don't miss their chances, there's a certain level, amount of chances that we should create. So if Brighton can create, 10 openings, we should be able to create 20 if the game is that open. So regardless of what Brighton did at their end, for us,
I agree. And that's where I was most annoyed today, Neeks. That's where I was most annoyed with our performance today, because it was like we We got the balls into these good. Once Brighton started coming at us, I was like, right, here we go, counter. And our counters were poor because of individual player mistakes. And that's why I'll always defend Ollie, because it was the execution. It was like, there's the ball. You'd see it and it'd be like, Martial, it's a simple ball out to the right. It puts Luke Shaw in. He can cross the ball. If we get to Luke Shaw and Luke Shaw crosses, and there's a great piece of defending that stops us from getting a shot on goal, I will say, well done, Brighton. But when the pass out to Luke Shaw is behind him or too far in front of him and it stops the cross coming in, I'm like, that's the player messing up a great opportunity for Man United to win a game, essentially. And that's where we need to improve. But where I'm not throwing my toys out, my pram, I won't happen. We're going to get better from this because we've been better than this under Ollie before. And there's a part of me that's secretly, quietly quite happy about how we've started, because I would rather peak a little bit later on in the season than maybe, because we're not good enough to win the league. So I don't want to kind of shoot our load too early. Do you get what I mean? Often it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I think we might see a few teams
just give me a peak.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, just give me a peak in it. I'll take any peak. 10 games now, 10 games later, just give me a peak. Any peak.
I need to head out.
I got to end the stream anyway. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you all. Take care. Goodbye. God bless you in a bit. Peace.